Hello, this is Kev, and this is Donnie is also with me. Today, we are the habitual line steppers, and right now we are going to discuss the Aquafina Blaccent controversy. And keep in mind, for this broadcast in particular, we are speaking as two black men. So we're going to get really candid with this, and warning of a little bit of harsh language. Without so much stepping over the line because we know how y'all get sometimes. So we're going to address this little in particular today topic today, and just fun. The irony is that we just got through reviewing the Shang Chi Legend of the Ten Rings film, so also check us out on that as well. Link will be in the description. What's going on, Donnie?
Man, what's going on? So you said we're not gonna cross the line too much, so I can't use my Chinese accent.
I mean,
All right, all right,
it would be somewhat offensive as we would believe, but I'm going to tell you this: if we were to go the Aquafina route and her supposedly using a black scent, then it would all be fair. I mean, if she can get away with it, you should be able to get away with it too, Donnie. Remember that. So,
I mean, hey,
all right. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Bring up this article.
good job.
All right. Oh shit. All right. See, you already know where we're going with this. I mean, I think that
Nah, I'm not gonna take it that far. I did want to
nah,
take that little jab. I had to take that little jab because I felt like it was only fair, eye for an eye, right? We're gonna make the
yeah.
whole world blind, but I don't give a damn. I can read braille.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say a quote from the Chappelle Show series is by the late great Paul Mooney. And keep in mind of the scroll ticker across the bottom of your screen that we do use harsh language on these programs. Not meant to offend, but if that's not your cup of tea, then fuck it, watch us anyway. I think we deserve to speak on this a little bit. So, yeah, this in particular uh, article says Aquafina on Blaccent controversy. I'm open to the conversation. So, Donnie, first of all, oh yeah, the quote by Paul Mooney, the late great Paul Mooney. Um, he says on the Ask a Black Dude skit, everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga. Now, depending on who you are, the N word use is not okay. But like I said, since we're speaking as two black men, of course it is for us. Uh, but that pretty much states that everyone loves our culture. Everyone loves what we bring into the table as far as entertainment. We are trendsetters, black people, melanated, African American, in the Western culture. We are trendsetters that impact the world. And a lot of other ethnic groups or special interests or whatever finds our culture to be so cool, they will try to emulate it any way they can. And one of those ways, kind of, I don't know what that walks that line is emulating how we walk, how we talk, or what they think, or how they envision us, or how we walk and how we talk, how we dress, and in some way, shape, or form, that is offensive. Like back in the '80s, we used to walk a line of offensive quite often. Like when we think of Asians, we always tighten our eyes up, buck our teeth, and just like I said, just disclaimer. I'm just saying it because I've seen it, and I know we've come far as how we don't do things anymore that are cringy. But we used to say stuff like "Fuku, fuku, fuku, fuku," karate, chop, chop. We would do that, and we would do that without realizing how it impacts the group that we're talking about. We had something for everyone.
Yeah,
So
hold on now. Y'all said karate chop chop. I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
dude. It was all kinds of shit. I mean, seriously. So, with that being said, how come people like Aquafina can't keep that same thing in mind? You perceive us this way. I mean, and who came up with the whole black scent thing anyway? It was it her?
Blaccent's been it's been kind of in the lexicon, right? It's been in the lexicon for, I'm thinking, at least a decade plus. It's just been around. One of the first people that was heavily acknowledged to use it was what, Steven Seagal. Um, Remember Steven Seagal did a show where he was what was it? He was a cop, and he would be in like Louisiana rolling around, and he would get with white people, and he would be talking regular, and he would get back. Now, sweet, come on, Cher. Come, baby girl. Ooh, come on now. Oh, come on. Just tell us
Oh
where
man,
he is. And he would get with that, right? And there's of course there's been white people before him who started to talk like black people. Um, I I'm trying to think, but there's been a whole bunch of people like that, and to me, that rubs me the wrong way in a real way, right? Remember when we
oh
did
yeah,
the conversation with or about Shang Chi? That was one of the first things that came to mind. I have an issue with her, but I'm gonna leave it out of this conversation, right? Didn't know we would swirl around to it so soon, but here we are. But
yeah, and
yeah,
I
to
mean,
answer the
like,
question, Black Scent's been in the lexicon for a minute now. I don't know who coined
oh,
it,
okay.
but it's just been there.
Yeah, and I would say that one movie that was coming out, I think before COVID hit, that got derailed because of the black scent is, remember they were showing this trailer for this movie called Lolo Quisha, and it was supposed to be this white dude radio host, but he was doing what he thought was a black woman with a sassy attitude. And in the
Uh,
trailer and in the story, the show became a hit. But there's a lot of folks, especially within our community, that was like, no, 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 this will not fly. I haven't heard if it's still coming out or not, but I haven't seen any ad campaign for it whatsoever. But it might pop
no,
up on the. Go
that
ahead.
movie might have come out already. I vaguely remember. I remember that movie because it was a radio show, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was a radio show, and it was actually a white man, but he was doing the voice. Kind of sounded like Tyler Perry's Mud Deer, but the fact
Yeah,
that it was a white man, really, like, people were like, no, no,
yeah,
fuck
hit them
this.
buttons wrong.
Yeah. So I mean that was a shade of the cancel culture that we experience over here in our community. But Aquafina, I don't think that it would be so much the same thing. I mean, of course, it rubs me the wrong way, but let's get a little deeper into this, and then I will show you how she answered this. And we'll get a little bit into this article on the screen. Um, a lot of the time we do have sets of our people, and when I say our people, black people, that will be okay with other groups imitating us and, excuse me, dressing like us and trying to imitate our lingo, so to speak. Um,
Mhm.
it, like, to say something like imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. The offensive thing about this is that they will never have our experiences. And it's okay for a black person to talk in this quote unquote black set that everyone keeps getting from us. I mean, like, one movie that satired this was Jamie Kennedy in Malibu's Most Wanted, when he was
Malibu's Most Wanted. Yep,
when he was B Rad from Malibu, and I think Sasha Baron Cohen did this character called Ollie G.
you are correct,
Yeah,
sir.
and there was a controversial group in the early 90s called the Young Black Teenagers that were white rappers. And actually,
Cameron, he was on House Party
Cameron,
too.
Yeah, he was on House Party too. Talking that black stuff. And what I have to say is, it seems like that there are people on our side that would give that kind of thing the green light. And in 2021, it seems like the times are more volatile to doing stuff like that because, although we may feel some kind of way for, I would say, more noble reasons, there's a culture of people that are all over the internet that are offended by just about everything now. What I mean by that is, if you are a black person, you have every right to feel how you want to feel about this. But I don't need other groups all over Twitter speaking for me that don't share our experiences. That's kind of trying to talk like a Blaccent too. And that's just my opinion. Some of you out there, you might believe that um, uh, you might believe that it's okay, and and we all gotta hug and love each other, but still, I mean, that underlying condition always exists with me, and I would never ever forget it. Well, I mean, Donnie, what do you got to say?
Well, this is a conversation I've had on multiple occasions, and it's funny you even brought up Cameron because I was talking about this with my wife. We watched House Party the other day, and this is one of the things that's a big pet peeve with me because, um, and it was explained to me by a white girl, no less, and this tripped me out because it really made me open my eyes as to what I hated about it and why I disliked it. Because I ended up getting into it with an Indian dude, right? The Indian dude, hop shit, the yo, bro, what's up? Hey, yeah. And it rubbed me the wrong way, but I was like, whatever, he ain't done nothing wrong to me. And then he fucked around and said, my nigga. Now, as you
Uh,
can imagine, I went off the hinges on that. And I was like, listen, I'm not your nigga. We not cool like that. I don't know who let you call them that or around them. He's chill. Rock up. Nah, I don't know. Dumb niggas. So we got into a whole conversation with that, and it became a thing. And I remember this white girl saying, well, maybe it's the fact that he was the brown dude in the school and there weren't many of his people. So he got with the cool kids, which were usually the black kids, wanted to fit in. And it goes to what Paul Mooney said. Everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga. Because when all the cool stuff that comes along with being black, you're there for it. And then when the police bust into the door and all the problems begin, oh, excuse me, buddy, I'm just trying to get here. These black guys are in my face. I have to get about to here. But she was yo, what's up 10 seconds ago, right? Same thing with the Aquafina. Aquafina is gung ho with the black people. And then she starts getting roles and starts putting herself out in Hollywood. And now it becomes the narrative of, well, I'm not going to debase my Chinese people. My proud heritage will not be used in a way that shames us or degrades us. Hey, but it's cool for me to get on and act like a black person, which you think the stereotype of a black person is. I have no problem with that. But please do not disrespect my Chinese ancestors. That's where I have issues. That's where I have the problem at. So I'm real curious what she had to say for herself in this situation.
yeah, the thing is like when she explained why she doesn't use the quote unquote stereotypical Asian accent, she said that she didn't want to be a minstrel to her people. So, I mean, I guess she was talking about something like, a minstrel show where people do Asian face or whatever. I didn't even know that her culture had minstrel shows, but it's like, but this is where it becomes offensive. That's what it, that's what I believe in. I'm feeling like Donnie would agree with me on this. I mean, you don't want to use the accent that your people are known for. I mean, I mean, if you've ever met an Asian person, you know what an Asian accent sounds like. I mean, but
Mm-hmm.
the biggest point I will make at the end of all this is, it is like when a black person is able to say complete sentences, then we have a lot of our people saying that people like myself whose experiences, they say that we talk white. And to give this a pass, somebody doing a black scent and various people who have used these quote unquote black scents throughout our lives and in our experiences for the way our people somewhat let it slide, then it becomes even more offensive in that context. So the this is I guess a tweet from Reuters Showbiz. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Uh, this is
Can they
Aquafina.
hit you for a tweet? Oh,
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I just like to say fair use. I mean, when you use anybody's image and likeness, then YouTube has very funny rules, and then policies can change at any time. So, just throw it. Just make it. Let's make it a habit. Just throw fair use, even if it doesn't require fair use. I mean, we just never can be too careful on these platforms. Okay,
gotcha.
so this is a tweet from Reuters Showbiz. Says that Aquafina addresses controversy of using a black scent in films. The response is 22 seconds long. Let's see if she clears herself up.
Um, you know, I'm open to the conversation. I think it, you know, it really is something that um I think is a little bit multifaceted and layered. And so yeah.
What was that?
That was supposed to be how she addressed the whole black scent controversy. That was her when she was asked. I mean, I can play it
That
for you again. See
yeah,
if we missed
that wasn't.
anything.
Yeah, man, come on now, because that wasn't an answer. That was a cake piece.
Yeah, yeah, that was it's kind of deflecting from it. You really didn't answer the question with
It's
any kind of.
multifaceted and layered. Yeah, yeah, you got to put multiple layers onto a cake. Yeah, but I didn't hear nothing about why you was running around talking like a nigga for years.
Yeah, you know what's the X factor in all of this? Who can't? Oh yeah, you said black scent has been in the lexicon for quite some time. So just if she didn't do it, she could have just used the argument that I'm just speaking English. That's what she could have done. But in the same vein, um, do you believe that there is a such thing that exists of called a uh, stereotypical Asian accent? I mean,
Um,
would it be stereotypical if an Asian did it? Because it's like
I
if a black person is doing blackface, it kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? You know, I mean, we understand minstrel shows were Caucasian people putting this kind of tar mixture on their face that was supposed to represent black people. And they would paint their lips super red, and then they would have these little big cheesy smiles from ear to ear. Yeah, and they did all kinds of little dumb shit. Now,
it was a case made from corks. Yeah.
yeah. What would be the
What?
harm in her actually using a natural accent that wasn't, because she's right there? Maybe she is admitting that her dialect is fabricated. So why
I,
wouldn't she go ahead?
I don't know. I think if the role kind of called for it, then maybe I don't see what the issue would be. You know what I mean? Like if she's a person straight from Hong Kong, 9 times out of 10, a person straight from Hong Kong is not going to have a perfect English accent, right? Or American accent, or whatever the case may be. So I don't see what the issue would be. But again, this all goes back to the black scent. This is a person who made. I mean, her name is Aquafina, right? So I don't know if you're aware, she got her start as a rapper. So she had
Oh,
a
okay.
total adoption of black culture. She used to run around in a hoodie, and she used to do like all this little like herky jerky. I like when I see this herky jerky movement, I think of like this is what white boys think rap is, so they kind of move like that. But she used to do that herky jerky movement and talk
Yeah, like like probably like her both her hands look like they had broken wrists, and she wave her fingers and then just throw them in the air like yo, and
Yeah, that
like
goofball shit.
the saggy pants and the extra right tennis shoes and shit. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
she used to run around with that, and then now all of a sudden she's Cambridge. Oh no, that's something that's layered. Like you would have never heard this shit from her, and it's too often where white folks will come in with this black characterism, right? And then they drop it as soon as the fame gets there. And if something goes left, they blame it on black people. If something goes right, then it's just my whiteness showing up. Remember, how did we know Mark Wahlberg when he came? Because Mark Wahlberg is a huge actor at this point, right?
yeah.
How did
Great
Mark Wahlberg
example.
come in the
Great
game?
example. Great example. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
All
Great.
that hip hop
One of
shit
the
went out the
greatest.
window.
Yeah, one of the greatest examples of a black scent. Like it. I did. And let me tell you something. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. So that's
Yeah,
the
kids.
yeah.
Yeah, down on the ones and
Yo,
two. Yo, with my main man.
yo. So this is, I guess this is going to be the textbook response every time somebody doesn't want to answer a question about this.
Oh, she gonna
Um,
smooth slide the fuck up out
no,
of there.
I I'm open to the conversation. I think it really is something that um I think is a little bit multifaceted and layered. And so yeah. Um
Multifaceted and layered, and yeah. Good lord.
And I guarantee you, she's gonna be one of the first ones to run up and say, "Stop Asian hate." Oh, that's so racist. Oh, it's cultural appropriation. Go ahead and have a seat, bitch.
Yeah, have a seat. You can have the black dimension is officially said, have a seat, Aquafina. Do better. So anyway, that's about it on this topic, and I'm sure there'll be more to come because someone else will do something stupid down the line. That is Hollywood and such. But anything else, Donnie, on this?
No, I'm out. Good.
All right, all right. Yeah, ABC, the Aquafina Black Scent controversy, uh, discussed here on the Black Dimension. You have been pulled in. Hopefully, you can find your way out. Until next time.